let's make a traditionally very porky and fatty dish a bit more healthy today by using tofu and bangus to make our favorite dinakdakan. So let's start preparing our ingredients. I will prepare our dressing ahead of time. So I have my red onions, which I will just julienne, cut into strips. So I like preparing this ahead of time. Some people like to have ginger in their dinakdakan. Some people don't. So it's really up to you. But today, I will be adding a bit of ginger because I'm using seafood. So adding my piece of ginger, which I will just mince. Not too much. Oftentimes, the dinakdakan has been compared with a sisig, but with a creamier texture because it uses pork brain or, in some cases, mayonnaise. But today, we'll be using mayonnaise for our dressing. And a lot of people like it spicy. We will add a load of chilies. Chilies, green chilies, siling pangsigang. And usually, the dinakdakan is made with pork face, pork mass, the ears, the snout, and sometimes pork belly is used and it's grilled. Just simply grilled and tossed in a very, nice dressing of vinegar and spices and a bit of pork brain. And we will try to replicate that today. Add a bit of raw garlic here. People don't usually add garlic to this, raw garlic, but I am. It's still going to be very delicious. So, you may call it with another name, but just for reference, we chose to call it dinakdakan. I will season this with salt and pepper. Salt, pepper, yan. Add a bit of vinegar. Pwede din calamansi. Vinegar for that acidity. And I will add my mayonnaise. Red chilies. How spicy do you want it? A bit of liquid seasoning. More mayo. That's it. Put that aside. And now I have my bangus. Heat up my oil and I will remove the head. Oh, tanong natin, okay ba na may mayonnaise ang dinakdakan? Okay lang ba? Or hindi okay? Yan. And I will just season our bangus with our asin and calamansi. And toss. And I will just dredge this in cornstarch. Toss, 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 toss. Be sure it's evenly marinated. Cornstarch. Dredge properly and fry. Just removing the excess cornstarch. Fry, fry, fry. Fry it until crisp. And our bangus is now fried and almost crispy, very crispy. Pero just leave that there for a while. And now I have my tofu cut in the same manner. And I will dredge it in cornstarch as well. Toss lang natin. So after frying our bangus, set it aside. Excess oil to drip off. And next thing to fry is our tofu. So what you can also do is you can actually just fry the entire bangus and chop it up. Pero I like to do it this way because I want to have more crispy edges. And fry. And again, you can also just fry it whole and slice it. But, extra step makes it better. And now we add our remaining tofu. And we're just waiting for our tofu to crisp up. Our dressing has been made ahead of time so all the flavors come together. And I've noticed a lot of you guys have been watching our videos for some time but still have not subscribed to our channel. Please subscribe and hit the notification button so you get notified every time we have a new video. And we're almost done with our dinakdakan. We're just waiting for our tofu to fry until crisp. So it's a play of texture. The creaminess of the mayonnaise is going to be so delicious as a pulutan, appetizer, or even ulam served with rice. The crispier, the better. And to achieve that, you have to be patient. So you notice that our tofu has begun to float. You know, ibig sabihin, it's already done and it's crispy. But before we do that, eto, aking bangus, I will transfer it to our mixing bowl. There, mixing bowl. So that I don't steam up my bangus with my hot tofu. The key to keeping it crunchier is to really let it steam out, no? So, gusto natin lumamig siya ng konti before we mix everything together. Kasi, pag hinalo natin siya and we put the mayonnaise, makukulob, no? The steam will be trapped and it will slowly wet the crispy crust, no? So, it's going to steam and wet the crust and no more crispiness. So, we want it to cool down for a few minutes until it's, you know, warm enough to touch, but not totally room temp. And once all the steam has settled down, we combine here our tofu and bangus. Now we add our dressing. Look at that. No? Creamy, spicy, flavorful. Toss. Such a delicious and healthy twist to a Ilocano classic that is now slowly becoming popular all over the Philippines. So look at that, ang dressing, tamang-tama lang yung dressing natin, no? It isn't overdressed, it's just enough to coat our bangus and our tofu. And we will plate, serve this over a bed of lettuce. So you have your, like, dinakdakan salad, which is good. It's a meal in itself. And let me taste. I have my tofu and my bangus in one bite. Sarap! You know, the fattiness of the bangus belly, parang pork din. So, you won't miss the pork version of this dish. So, it's time to eat healthier. You can do it by being creative. You have something that's just as delicious as the original. Of course, not the same, but just as satisfying and filling. And now it's time for you to try today's recipe, tofu and bangus dinakdakan. Simpol, come on, let's eat!